Hi everybody, welcome to this introduction to Blender. Today we're going to look at how to create a nice symmetrical outline of a digital object. Okay, so when you open Blender you're faced with this. Just click somewhere or press escape on your keyboard and it will disappear, hopefully. Okay, now as you can see we start with a default cube. If you scroll your wheel on your mouse, you can scroll in and out. If you click on these view buttons, you can look at your object from different views. So I'm looking at the bottom of the object. Here I'm looking at the top of the object. Also, in object mode, you can delete your cube. So here it is here. We are in object mode. Press delete on your keyboard. Goodbye cube. There's no more cube. It's gone. Or to undo, Control Z on your keyboard. And let's go into edit mode. Now in edit mode, when I press delete, I can delete vertices, edges, or faces. Now let me explain what they are. If I click on my wheel on my mouse and drag my mouse at the same time, I can orbit around my object and we can see a few things here. We've got faces. These are the faces. There's a face. There's a face. We've got edges, which are these lines, edges, and we've got vertexes, which are the dots, which are used to join the lines and to create the faces. Okay, so when I press delete on my keyboard, I can choose what I want to delete. Also, when I'm selecting things in edit mode, I can choose to select vertexes, edges, or faces. For example, let's go to face select. I can select a face by clicking on it. If I go to edge select, I can select an edge. I can shift select many edges. I can delete those edges that I just selected. And we can mess around with the 3D object that we are designing. Okay, so let's just get started today with some design work. In edit mode, I'm going to delete the contents of the cube. So A to select all, delete on the keyboard, and let's just delete the vertices. Everything disappears. I'm going to go into top view. As you can see, I still have my cube. I didn't delete the cube, I just deleted the contents of the cube. I'm going to rename this to be spoon because I'm going to make a spoon. So this is going to be my spoon object. Now, to get started, I'm going to go into vertex select mode, and I'm going to control and right click to get my first vertex. Now, I'm going to press E on the keyboard. E means extrude. And click, E, 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 and click. So I'm trying to make a spoon, okay? It's not symmetrical, is it? It looks awful. A to select all and delete the vertices. Everything's gone. We still have the spoon. I'm going to add a modifier. And it's going to be the mirror modifier. Now what I'm going to do is control, right click to get started. There's my first vertex. E to extrude. And look what happens. Magic. E, click, E, click, E, click, E, click, E, click, E, click. So I'm trying to make the outline of a spoon. Now, do you see these vertex points here? I need those because they are going to help me to create a mesh. Okay? Now, this line isn't very straight, but I have to keep creating these vertexes to make the mesh later. So that's a bit tricky. I'm going to show you something that I discovered the other day. I'm going to A to select everything, delete vertexes. Let's start again. Control, right click to get started, E to extrude, let's make a line. E to extrude, let's make a really long line. E to extrude, E to extrude, E to extrude, and E to extrude. So this is going to be the basic shape of my spoon. Now my mesh is going to be super basic because I don't have many vertexes to play with. That's going to be a problem later. So what I'm going to do is a bit of magic. It's called loop cutting. Select loop cut, go back to one of your lines, and click to make your first new vertex. There it is. Click. Yes, we got a new one. And look what happens. A little loop cut and slide box appears. Click on it and start to increase the number of cuts. Look what happens. We get more vertexes. That's really useful, as we will discover later. Okay? Let's do the same thing here. Click and increase the number. Maybe not too many, but enough to make a good mesh. Okay, and we'll look at the importance of this in a moment. Brilliant. Okay. That might be too many. Let's just reduce that down to maybe 3. All right. Okay, I like it. So let's get rid of that. And let's select everything. A on the keyboard and deselect. This is the start of my spoon outline. Now I'm going to apply this mirror. I like it. I'm happy. I'm going to go into object mode. I'm going to apply the mirror. The mirror modifier is gone. It's done its work. Let's go back into edit mode. Look what we've got. We've got the beginning of our mesh. Now, as you can see at the very bottom, these two vertexes are not connected. So let's select, escape, escape, escape. Press escape on the keyboard if you make a mistake. Escape, escape. Control Z. Okay, undo. I'm still in loop cut mode. Just let's get out of that. Let's deselect A. Let's select those two and F on the keyboard to join them. They're joined now. Now let's do the same here. A to select everything and deselect. Make sure everything's deselected. Select and F to join the vertexes. Now that's a process that we're going to go through for the next few minutes. A to select and A to deselect. Select a pair. F. A. Select a pair. F. A. Select a pair. F. A. What I'm doing, I'm making a really basic but very useful mesh. And because we use the mirror, everything is beautifully symmetrical. And because we use loop, cut, and slide, all of these vertexes are opposite each other. That's so useful for making a symmetrical shape. So I'm just going to spend a couple of minutes joining these vertexes. It takes a couple of minutes, but it's worth it. Trust me. Okay. Here we go. I'm just going to keep going. You can go and put on a cup of tea. Go and get a cup of tea. Okay. I'll shout when I'm finished. Maybe I shouldn't. I'll scare the cat. Let's just keep going. We're nearly there. This is a basic mesh. We'll make it more complicated later. Okay. Is your tea ready yet? We're nearly there. Don't panic. F on the keyboard. And we're constantly selecting and deselecting so that we don't mess things up. Okay, you'll probably find out what happens if you don't do that. Whoops, getting a little bit tight there. Ooh, I've selected multiple. No, select, deselect, try again. I'm just going to pan, shift, click on the wheel and drag your mouse down. That's called panning. Then we can zoom in and F, A, F, A, F. That's it, we've done it. We've done it. We have a basic mesh. There's one more to do there. Can you see it? I'm just going to do that one as well. F. We've got a basic model, a basic outline, and a basic mesh. So now let's select everything and press F on the keyboard. We've filled our model, our 2D model, with faces. That's what F did. Now press E on the keyboard and we're going to extrude. And here we have a basic 3D model of a spoon. Have a go.